Good morning, third graders. Happy first day of school. I really wish we could have this day together in the classroom, but I'm here in the classroom and I'm going to go over some things that we would be doing on the first day of school. When we all get back together again, we'll do some more exciting things for back to school, no matter when it's going to be. We'll get some things going for this school year. We're going to work on some of our notebook covers today. We're going to go over some of our Edmodo and some of our links in our Bitmoji classroom. And then I'd like to read you a story for our first day of school. So what we'll start out with first, before we get into our Edmodo, is you should have a couple of notebooks. Some of you already had lots of notebooks, so we just need some of these composition notebooks. We're going to take out 2 for today, and then you're going to open up your little plastic envelope with the snap on it and take out this packet of papers that are stapled in the corner that say Interactive Math Notebook. Underneath that, we have our Reading and Grammar Notebook, which also has a page for grammar and a page for reading inside there. What you can do is go ahead and just tear off that top piece. You can actually tear all of them separately if you want to, or just do them one at a time. So what I'd like you to do on the first page, it should be really easy, is just go ahead and color it and decorate it how you would like. And then we're just going to cut around the edge of this black. It doesn't have to be perfectly squiggly unless you would like to make it that way, or if you have special scissors that will make it that way. So you're going to cut that out. And after you're done coloring, it's easier to do it after you're done coloring. And you're going to choose a notebook. So I chose a green one. This is going to be my math interactive notebook. So I glued the first page, or the first cover, on the front of my book. So I know this looks backwards, but you will have interactive math notebook with your name on the top, and you've decorated it so that it's fun. So when we get ready to use it, it's all fun and decorated. You can do that after our video gets over, or you can start on it while I'm reading our story in just a few minutes. The next thing I want you to do is to pick out another notebook, and we're going to get out our grammar and reading notebook. So if you'll tear that page off and tear these 2 pages apart. Now you have 3 separate pages, and you can go ahead and color those and decorate those, and then you can cut them out along the line. Something special to note when you're cutting this and the reading and the grammar, did you notice there's a little tab right here? That little tab we want to cut around. So we want to come to that spot and come around. Don't cut it off. If you do happen to cut it off, a little tape will help fix it. But we're going to go around it to make it a tab. And let me show you why we want to have a tab. So in our reading and grammar notebook, so I have mine all decorated. Let me see if I can make our picture a little bigger. All right, so you'll have your reading and grammar notebook, and then you're going to open your notebook to the very first page, and we're going to glue in our grammar page. And as you can see, it has a little tab. So I didn't cut that off so that I can see when my notebook is closed, my grammar's right here. When I open my notebook, I can grab the tab and my grammar is right here with the little tab. Then you're going to go to the spot in the notebook that opens naturally and has a little seam. It's called the little seam in the middle, kind of where the book is in the center, and you can see a little bit of the stitching from the notebook in there. You're going to glue in your reading tab, and then you'll have that little tab hanging off. So if you look at it from back, there's the tabs hanging off, looking at it on the front. We can see grammar. We can see reading. So your assignment today, boys and girls, is just to get your reading and grammar and your math interactive notebooks colored and put together. That's all you have to do for that assignment for today. All right. You can do all of that when we're done with the video, or you can start it as we read our story. All right, let me move my face over to the corner, maybe a little smaller here. All right. So here we are in, here I'm coming with my marker. Okay, here we are in our Edmodo class. So one thing to remember is an easy way to get into our Edmodo class is to always sign in with Google. You'll also want to do that with Extra Math, with Spelling City, with IXL, anything that offers to sign in with Google, we want to try to use that. So we're in our main page for Martinez Marvel's Third. And this is a picture right up here of my Bitmoji classroom, but that's not going to get us into the classroom. I have it down here. It's pinned. What that means is it's always going to be at the top of any page. So let me show you what that means. So this little posting right here is on our main class page called Martinez Marvel's Third. If we go to math, here it is again at the top of our math page. If we go to reading, here it is again at the top of our reading page. I also believe I put it in our other ones. Let's check science. There it is on top of science. So anytime you're in any of our classes, it will have our little link to our Bitmoji. And you're going to go ahead and click on the link, and let's go into that classroom. All right, so this is our Bitmoji classroom. And this is my little Bitmoji person who's supposed to be Mrs. Martinez. And so this is our classroom. And what I'd like you to do today is I want you to explore our classroom. Pretty much everything you click on will take you somewhere. We'll add more things to our page as we go. But we have some things under our calendar. We have different links on the board. We have different links on the furniture. And so start exploring some of those things. Let's just click on Spelling City over here. That is a spelling program that you are going to be using every week with our spelling words. So when I click on it, it takes us to the login page. And look right there, boys and girls. Sign in with Google. We want to use that sign in with Google whenever we can because that will make our lives easier. It already has your login information. If we click on our little calculator here, it takes us to IXL. Look again, boys and girls, log in, sign in with Google. So whenever we can do that, let's try to do that. I would like to, so I want you just to click on these things because I don't want to take the fun away from you finding out what is there. But I do want to point out really quickly for you and for parents that we have this little sign that says, welcome to third grade. And I'd like you to click on that to see what's behind there. And then if you click on my emoji person here, it will take you to another thing that will give especially parents a little idea about who Mrs. Martinez is and what she wants to do in our classroom. So I'd like you to explore our Bitmoji page today. And then your assignment is going to be to go into reading. So I am going to post this video in reading and in math, because I remember that I told you in our Meet the Teacher that we're going to be going into reading and math every day. We won't have to go into the other ones every day, but reading and math we'll go into every day. So this video is going to be posted twice. You don't have to watch it twice. You only have to watch it one time. But I want you to go to the question in the reading assignment and answer the one question that I have for you on there. All right. So Going back to our Edmodo page. Remember that you can use our little calendar over here, if you can see it light up with my cursor, or you can go right above and go to planner when you're in one of our classes. So if you'll notice, we don't really have a planner for this class, but if we go to reading, we will have a planner at the top. So we can use the planner, or we can use the little calendar to get our assignment to turn in. So it should be really easy today, but I want to give it a try, having you do our first one there. And then, of course, go ahead and email me. If you need to message me through Edmodo, you can, or through my emails. Also in our Bitmoji classroom, you'll find out my emails in the when you click on my Bitmoji. So that should help out a little bit. I'd like you to explore some of your other classes in our Bitmoji. If you go to extra math, let's see here. Trying to see which one is our extra math. Oh, it's going to be slow. Let's just type extra math in, and we're going to go there because I know some of you had a little trouble getting in there today. So I want to help you find a faster way to get in. Now, extra math should be able to log us in using our Google account. So let's check it out. See right here, we have Google. So that would be a great way for you to sign in. You'll just pick your Google, your name will come up here, your email will come up here. You'll select your email, and it will log you in. Now see, mine looks like this because I'm the teacher, but yours will look like our math class does, where you go ahead and do our math problems. So Google will be your helper to sign in. If you have any trouble and you want to sign in down here, the email address is going to be your teacher's email address, sandymartinez@visioncsd.org. Then you're going to put in your first name, just like I have on our card. And I think I have an example of a card right here. You're going to put in your first name and your first initial. And then you're going to put in your PIN code if you want to log in that way. You can log in with Google a lot faster, but if for some reason it doesn't work, you can go ahead and log in this way and use Sandy Martinez at Vision CSD to be your login for your email. All right. Well, our first day of school is here already. We don't have a lot to do today, but a lot of your time will be spent exploring our classroom and maybe dabbling in a few things. We don't have a spelling list in there yet, so it will be hard to play games in there right now. But next week, we'll start working on some words and getting some games in there that you can do. But you can definitely do some extra math. You can do some IXL. You can go on to Mayan. So just explore all of those other things. Plus, there's some other slideshows and things that you would like to see in our Bitmoji classroom. So I'm anxious to hear what you think of it. All right, you may have seen this book before. All right, let's see. Put that up here. But it's kind of a fun book. It's called First Day Jitters. And I don't know if you've read that before, but well, this year we aren't having as much worry about the first day of school as we normally would because we're home this morning, or we're somewhere where we're not in the classroom. So usually when we're in the classroom, though, the night before we have school, all of my teacher friends and I, we just are anxious and we can't sleep, and we kind of worry about how the day's going to go, and we want to make sure that the children are happy and the children are safe. And I'm sure that you worry about who you're going to sit with, who you're going to play with, who's going to be in your class, what your teacher is going to be like. So let's enjoy this book, First day jitters. And if you would like to color your notebook pages while I read it, that's perfectly fine too. So apparently there's a little dog with a lunchbox on the first page. First day jitters. Starts with the alarm clock buzzing. All right, I'm going to scooch back a little bit so that you can see. Sarah, dear, time to get out of bed, said Mr. Hartwell, poking his head through the bedroom doorway. You don't want to miss the first day at your new school, do you? I'm not going, said Sarah, and pulled the covers over her head. Of course you're going, honey, said Mr. Hartwell as he walked over to the window and snapped up the shade. She pulled the covers over herself again. No, I'm not. I don't want to start over again. I hate my new school, Sarah said. She tunneled down to the end of her bed. Mr. Hartwell doesn't know what to do. How can you hate your new school, sweetheart? Mr. Hartwell chuckled. You've never been there before. Don't worry. You liked your other school. You'll like this one. Besides, just think of all the new friends you'll meet. Just a little picture of all these little faces. That's just it. I don't know anybody, and it will be hard, and I just hate it. That's all. So she's worried it's going to be like that instead of nice like that. What will everyone think if you aren't there? We told them you were coming. So her husband's saying, think if you don't show up, the police might come. They'll be searching for you. They make missing person posters for you. They will think that I am lucky, and they will wish that they were at home in bed like me. Mr. Hartwell sighed. Sarah Jane Hartwell, I'm not playing this silly game 1 second longer. I'll see you downstairs in 5 minutes. Sometimes as parents, we have to get a little stern, don't we? Have you ever had that happen? Sarah tumbled out of bed. She stumbled into the bathroom. She fumbled into her clothes. She's taking her time. My head hurts, she moaned as she trudged into the kitchen. Mr. Hartwell handed Sarah a piece of toast and her lunchbox. Oh, look at the face on the cat. The cat wants her to stay home too. They walked to the car. Sarah's hands were cold and clammy. They drove down the street. She couldn't breathe. And then they were there. I feel sick, said Sarah weakly. Nonsense, said Mr. Hartwell. You'll love your new school once you get started. Oh, look, there's your principal, Mrs. Burton. Boys and girls, that's the name of our principal, too. Sarah slumped down in her seat. Doesn't look like our school, though, does it? But Mrs. Burton is our elementary principal. "Oh, Sarah," Mrs. Burton gushed, peeking into the car. "There you are. Come on, I'll show you where to go." Everybody's filing in. She led Sarah into the building and walked quickly through the crowded hallways. "Don't worry, everyone is nervous the first day," she said over her shoulder as Sarah rushed to keep up with her. When they got to the classroom, most of the children were already in their seats. The class looked up as Mrs. Burton cleared her throat. Class, attention please," said Mrs. Burton. When the class was quiet, she led Sarah to the front of the room and said, "Class, I would like you to meet..." Is everybody listening? "I would like you to meet your new teacher, Mrs. Sarah Jane Hartwell." What are your thoughts about that? I think a teacher would be that scared and saying she doesn't want to go to school so that Mr. Hartwell or her husband has to tell her, "You have to go to school and you'll be fine." It's a fun little book. First Day Jitters. And we also have a book called Last Day Jitters. And believe it or not, I know it doesn't feel like it, but we will be reading that book sooner than you can imagine, unfortunately. So, all right, guys, I hope you have a good first day of school. If mom and dad take a picture of you, either doing your schoolwork or on your Chromebook or just a picture in front of your house for the first day of school, we would love to see it. So you can send it to my email, and I can share that with Mrs. O, or we can maybe make a little slideshow. So that would be very exciting to see if you have time and you can do that. So, all right. I am available for questions if you have any questions. So remember, we're doing our notebook covers, coloring them, cutting them out, and gluing them on. We just have the two, Math Interactive and the Reading and Grammar. And then the second thing you're going to do is to go onto Edmodo, and you're going to look for your assignment, and you're also going to check out our Bitmoji classroom. So that's three things. You're going to explore that classroom, and then you'll come back and answer the question. Okay? It's going to be in reading that you'll find your question. All right. Also, if you wanted to color your other notebook covers for vocabulary or social studies, science, or morning work, you can certainly do that today too. But we will be getting to that this week. All right, guys, I'm so excited that you're in my class. I'm so proud of all of you coming in and getting logged in. It was so great to meet you with your families. And we're going to just try to make this a great year. It's going to be a year full of all kinds of learning. And all of us adults are relying on all of you young people to teach us all kinds of new tricks. So there'll be a lot of learning going on for everyone this year. All right, guys, have a fabulous day today. Let me know how you're doing. Make sure that you answer your Edmodo question sometime before tomorrow, and I will see you in our next video. All right, guys, happy first day of third grade.